Hello everyone, welcome to Java tutorials. My name is Kishore. In this video, we will discuss about another type of initialization block, that is instance initialization block. In short, it is also called as IIB. How does this instance initialization block works is it is going to execute every time you create the object. You might be thinking there are constructors which are also executed whenever you create the object. How is IIB going to vary from the constructor? To see that, let me create one class with the name E. I will create one default constructor in class E and I will print E constructor. Then I will create one parameterized constructor that takes one integer argument. I print E int constructor. Let me write here one instance initialization block. How do you write an instance initialization block is you just need to write opening flower bracket and closing flower bracket. You don't need to write any keyword, but make sure that you are writing this inside the class, but not inside any constructor or a method. Let me print one statement here saying IIBE. So let us create an object of E. Let me keep a delimiter to differentiate between these two objects. I will pass some parameter to the constructor. Let me run this program and see what is the output. If you observe, I have created two objects. It is calling different constructors. But what you see is the IIB is executing before the constructor. It means IIB is executing every time you create the object. Constructor is also executing every time you create the object, but there are different constructors which are executed based on the constructor you use. However, IAB is something common for all the objects, and it doesn't matter you create object on which constructor. So that is how the IAB works. You can always use IAB whenever you want some common logics that needs to be executed for every object creation. For example, assume you want to count how many objects are created. Instead of writing that counter variable incrementing in every constructor, what you can do is you can write that counter variable incrementation logic in the IIB so that you don't have to repeat that statement in every constructor. Let us keep static initialization block and observe how does this static initialization block works. We have already seen static initialization block in our previous video. Let us use the same static initialization block in this video also and see what is the output. If I run this program, I see SIB is executing, then IIB, and the constructor, then IIB is executing, then a different constructor. What you need to understand is SIB is executing only once, but IIB is executing for every object creation. The SIB block executes before object creation. Whenever you create the object of E, before creating the object, this class E will be loaded, but it is loaded only once. When you create the second object, at that time, the class E won't be loaded. Only the object will be created. So that is how the IAB block and SIB blocks are going to be executed. See you in the next video. Thank you so much.